The U.S. and the free world face two extremely dangerous flashpoints, Ukraine and Taiwan. Is the Biden administration up to these grave challenges? Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent times. President Biden is now facing his most severe foreign policy and security crises, the growing ominous threats to the freedom of Ukraine and Taiwan. His precipitous, disastrous retreat from Afghanistan has emboldened both Beijing and Moscow into considering decisive moves to achieve control of two places they have long coveted. A Biden mishandling here would be catastrophic. It would tell Asia, Europe, and the rest of the world that they can no longer rely on the U.S. for security, and that they'd better come to terms with China and Russia economically. It would tell the world that dictatorships, not democracy, are the wave of the future. All this would spell a far less free, a far less prosperous, and more violent world. Russian strongman Vladimir Putin is amassing an invading army on Ukraine's border that could total 175,000. Russia is aggressively mobilizing its military reserves. These moves are unprecedented in their scale. Putin longs to either occupy Ukraine or make it a puppet state controlled by the Kremlin. His forces already dominate portions of eastern Ukraine. The president of Ukraine has credibly accused Moscow of plotting a coup against his government. President Biden today meets remotely with Putin. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken met last week with his Russian counterpart and warned of severe consequences if Russia makes further incursions into Ukraine. Unfortunately, U.S. credibility took a severe hit over how Biden botched Afghanistan. The president also displayed weakness when he dropped U.S. opposition to a new Russian pipeline, Nord Stream 2, that would hurt Ukraine and make Europe more dependent on natural gas from Russia. Biden's less than impressive response to Russian hacking hasn't helped either. Sensing U.S. hesitancy, Xi Jinping may severely step up pressure on Taiwan or even opt for an invasion, particularly after the upcoming Winter Olympics in China. Retaking Taiwan has been a crucial goal of Beijing since the communist takeover in 1949. A Chinese seizure here would have severe repercussions, including Japan and even South Korea developing their own nuclear weapons. At the least, Washington should immediately be sharply increasing arms shipments to both Ukraine and Taiwan that would disabuse Beijing and Moscow of the idea of easy victories. Washington should also spell out to both potential aggressors the sweeping sanctions that would be imposed on their countries and particular individuals within them. And the U.S. should right away block the operation of that Russian pipeline. As a face-saver, if Russia does back down, the U.S. and our allies could declare that Ukraine won't become a member of NATO or the European Union. But of course, Ukraine would be free to pursue more trade with Europe. I'm Steve Forbes. Thanks for listening. Do send in your comments and suggestions. I look forward to being with you soon again.